Alright. I'm gonna use this beat because it's a little bit better for the topic. I don't want to use something that's like, I'd say it's a more appropriate instrumental. Anyway, alright, so this is part 2 of the current event prophecies. I left off on sexual immorality. The next sign is going to be a rise in spiritualism. 1 Timothy 4:1 reads, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." How about a rise in spiritualism and the occult in the world? Have we seen this? Well, just look at the television and movies today. Twilight, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and a whole host of other television series and movies containing the occult and spiritualism. It has invaded our lives like no other time before us. And what is the cause of this? It is the false teaching of the immortality of the soul. Spiritualism is also the cause of these near-death experiences which Satan is deceiving more and more people with. Many people don't realize that spiritualism has also invaded the majority of churches around the world due to this false teaching of the immortality of the soul. Yet the Bible clearly teaches that the dead know nothing, Ecclesiastes 9:5, and that when we die we return to the dust of the ground from where we came, Genesis 3:19. But the churches have embraced this false teaching of the immortal soul, which is another sign of the times we live in. A belief in spiritual manifestations opens the door to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, and thus the influence of evil angels will be felt in the churches. The next sign is mass animal deaths. Hosea 4:3 reads, "Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away." This one has become a fairly recent phenomenon. During the last few years, we have seen fish, birds, and other animals die in huge numbers. Since 2010, millions of fish have been turning up dead in lakes, rivers, and the sea, with this deadly red tide partly to blame. Also, birds have been dropping out of the sky in huge numbers, and we are seeing other unusual animal deaths all around the world, including bees and bats dying in their millions. Mass animal die-offs are on the rise, killing billions and raising questions. The honeybee crisis deepens as evidence shows there has been a dramatic increase in die-offs. Up to 50% of bees are dying now, creating worry over food supply. The rise of jellyfish over the past few decades is a harbinger of the health of the world's oceans. The oceans are on the brink of catastrophe. The book of Hosea not only applies to the nation of Israel, it also applies to our day and contains prophecies concerning the state of the world we live in today. So is this text from Hosea fulfilled in our day? Is it a sign of the end times? Yes. Alright, next one is natural disasters. Luke 21:25-26 reads, "And upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." So what about this biblical sign? Is this being fulfilled in our day more than any other day before us? Most definitely. Just look at the natural disasters we are getting now every year. Are the seas and waves roaring? Yes, tens and even hundreds of thousands of people are being wiped out from tsunamis and floods, and men's hearts are certainly fearing what is happening to this world. In America in 2010, a record was set for the number of federal disaster declarations given over a year. That number was 81. In 2011, that number was broken again with 99 disaster declarations given, costing over $32 billion. And 2012 produced another year of record-breaking disasters. Dr. Robert Hartwig states, "The number of U.S. disaster declarations has been trending sharply upward, particularly over the past 15 years. We are really seeing things happening in this world now with regards to the fulfillment of Bible prophecy today." Fuck this. And an estimated 32.4 million people worldwide were displaced due to natural disasters. Alright, The next sign is earthquakes, which kind of just builds on the last one. Matthew 24:7 reads, "And earthquakes in divers places." The scoffers love to bash this one, but from the evidence available, it is clear that earthquakes are not only increasing in frequency, but also appearing in more and more diverse places, which the Bible predicted. Remember, these signs are to intensify during the last days, and that is exactly what is happening with earthquakes. Take a look at the following information and judge for yourself. We had a millennium's worth of earthquakes in just 2 years, during 2014 and 2015. Big earthquakes have doubled in 2014 compared to each year since 1979. A global surge in great earthquakes between 2004 and 2014. Current graphs clearly show an alarming worldwide trend of increasing earthquake strength and frequency. These results are in agreement with the USGS statistics page, which shows an increase in the frequency of stronger earthquakes, 5.0 and above. Alright, I'm doing well. A series of massive earthquakes within 2 days in 2012 prompted an earthquake expert to suggest that the earth is cracking up. As of July 2016, there were around 3,090 earthquakes happening a month. God is giving us plenty of warning through these events, and we will be without excuse if that day of Christ's return comes upon us like a thief in the night and catches us unaware. We need to heed the signs and get ready. The next sign is the unsealed prophecy. Daniel 12:4 reads, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." This sign carries on from the increasing knowledge sign above, but I wanted to separate it to show you that this sign alone reveals we are living in the last days. God tells Daniel to seal the book, in other words, to seal the prophecies contained within it, and that at the time of the end, the prophecies would be unsealed and we would know what they mean. Well, as you've seen from the videos I just put out, the prophecies of Daniel 2 and 7 have been unsealed. Daniel's 70-week prophecy has been unsealed. I'll get into that probably next week. And the 2300-day prophecy has been unsealed. So this alone confirms that we are living in the end times. But taking all the other signs together will show us how close we are to the second coming of Christ Jesus, the Son of the living God, and the end of the world. Alright, the next sign is false Christ and prophets. Matthew 24:4-5 and 11 reads, "Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and many false prophets shall arise and deceive many." We've certainly had our fair share of false Christs appearing around the world. Also, today we have many false religions proclaiming many ways to eternal life, like Roman Catholicism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, folk religions, Wicca, and many other New Age movements, with false prophets like the Pope, Muhammad, Krishna, Buddha, etc. leading these religions. We also have many false prophets and leaders in Christian churches, like the prosperity gospel preachers and people like Oprah Winfrey leading these New Age movements. And millions of people have been sucked in and deceived by these false prophets. There are also many who appear to be sheep leading the flock, but in fact are inwardly ravening wolves, leading the people to destruction. People like Rick Warren, who preach just enough truth to lull the unlearned mind into following them into apostasy. Yes, this sign has certainly been fulfilled. So, what I challenge you to do out there is please prayerfully seek the truth for yourself by studying the Word of God in the Bible. But there's more signs. You just check the time real quick. Alright, we got about 6 more minutes. This might be a 3-part series. Yes, it will probably be a 3-part series. Holy shit. So the next sign is the world pushing for peace. Dang, it sucks. I made so much videos. Like, this is probably like my 5th or 6th video today. I'm running out of instrumentals. I might need to find some more beats. So 1 Thessalonians 5:3 reads, "For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Is this sign being fulfilled in our day? Yes, there's an ecumenical movement today, which we were told about in End Times prophecy, that is uniting the world in an effort to bring peace. Churches and faiths and political leaders are uniting like never before in an effort to bring peace to this world. But this ecumenical movement is not of God, because we as God's people are not to unite with the world or any false religion. As stated in Amos 3:3, 2 Corinthians 6:17, and Revelation 18:4. When they do declare peace and safety, then destruction will come upon them. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The world is obviously pushing for peace right now. I mean, I know there's still the war on terror and all this shit happening, but honestly, we're in a time of peace. I hear this almost every day. I've heard this almost every day during my time in the military so far. I went to boot camp in May, and it's October now, so I've been in the military for about 5 months now, and whether it was the drill instructors in boot camp or my combat instructors at combat training or just my sergeants here at MOS school, they're always saying, yeah, we're in a time of peace right now. Like, we're not really at war. It's pretty unlikely for any personnel other than grunts to get deployed at the moment. Deployments are really scarce at this point in time, and that's frightening if you relate it to the sign I just told you about. How much time do I have left? Okay. So the next sign is war. Matthew 24:6-7 reads, "And ye shall hear of wars, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Many people say that this isn't a sign of the end times, because there have been wars since the beginning. Yes, there have been wars since the beginning, but when you look at the frequency and intensity of wars, then it's plain to see that this is a sign of the times we are living in. During the 20th century alone, more people have been killed as a result of war than all previous centuries combined. This has resulted in hundreds of millions of people being killed in wars like World War I, II, the Russian Civil War, Congo War, Korean War, Vietnam War, Iraq, etc. Today there are conflicts and wars raging all around the world. And in 2011, armed conflicts greatly increased according to reports. So is war a sign for today? Of course it is. But remember, we are not to take any of these signs on their own. Jesus said, "When ye shall see all these things, know that it is near." And that's Matthew 24:33. Taking one sign like this on its own will not prove we are living in the last days. All signs need to be fulfilled. Time. Alright, I think I'm gonna go over one more sign and then start part 3. Alright, the next sign is famine. Matthew 24:7 reads, "And there shall be famine." Just look at the famine that has struck the world over the past 30 years. Thousands die every day of starvation, and according to this news article, global starvation is spreading and increasing, causing 1 billion people to go hungry around the world. Add to that the fact that failed crops throughout the world because of extreme weather, and bees dying off in massive numbers, and we have a worldwide shortage of food on its way. Not only that, we have the likes of Monsanto who are poisoning the crops that are left. 2.4 billion people survive on less than $2 per day. Fun fact. The sad thing about this sign is that the amount of food that is wasted in the developed world could feed the hungry. So think about those in need next time you are about to fill up your shopping trolley with food that will be wasted. The Bible teaches us that we need to be helping the poor and needy by giving them of our bread and clothing, rather than throwing away what we don't want or need. That's the problem I have. I'm definitely wasteful as fuck. Like, if I don't like something, I toss that sucker in the trash can. That's not good. It's very wasteful. Alright, I've only got about 30 seconds left, so I'm going to wrap this video up. Stay tuned for part 3.